Hi guys, welcome back. It's Donwozi here, and in today's video I'm going to be updating my easy mode Magicka Sorcerer for the Summerset patch for the veteran Maelstrom Arena. Without further ado, I'm going to get into the stats with my power surge and a potion up. So we have 44k Magicka, 17k health, 10k stamina, 2759 spell damage, 53.3% spell critical, and 1457 Magicka recovery. We have 61 points into health, into Magicka, and 3 points into health. The food we're using is the Clockwork Citrus Fillet, which increases your max health by 3724. Health recovery by 351, max Magicka by 3457, and Magicka recovery by 319. If you can't afford this, then I would suggest using the Witch Mother's Brew and just putting a few more points into health, or using a health enchantment on your armor. The boon we're using is the Lover, which increases your spell and physical penetration by 3756, and we are also a high elf. So I'm going to show you the potions we're using. The potions we're using is Essence of Spell Critical, which gives you Major Prophecy, which increases your spell crit rating by 2191 for 47.6 seconds. Also restores health and grants Major Fortitude, which increases your health recovery by 20% for 47.6 seconds. Also restores 7582 Magicka and grants you Major Intellect, which increases your Magicka recovery by 20% for 47.6 seconds. On the build, we're using 5-piece Julianos and 5-piece Necropotence. You can have this however you want it, and the monster set we're using is the 2-piece Ice Heart. On the front bar we have a infused Flame Staff with a shock damage enchant, and on the back bar we have an infused Lightning Staff with a weapon and spell damage enchant, a Berserker enchant. As I said before, the monster set we're using is Ice Heart. You can use Valkynscoria, Grothdar, Slimecraw or Elambris with this build. It's entirely up to you, whatever you prefer. I just prefer Ice Heart. So we have an infused chest piece and infused legs of Julianos. Ideally the helm of Ice Heart would be infused, but I don't have enough crystals to transmute it at the moment. Also we have a belt of Necropotence, gloves of Necropotence, and shoes of Julianos, and then 3 Necropotence jewellery, all arcane. Now I'm going to go over the skills. So on our front bar we have Endless Fury. This is our main execute. So basically, if an enemy falls to or below 20% health within 4 seconds of using this, an explosion deals an additional 13,780 shock damage to them and 2,367 shock damage to other enemies nearby. If an enemy is killed by this ability, you restore 4,417 Magicka. So what I tend to do is, say this is a trash mob and he's only got 30k health, I'll charge a heavy attack on him, I'll apply Endless Fury, and then I'll just spam Force Pulse. So you'll double dip with the passives, which I'll show you now. You'll double dip with Endless Fury, so you'll get an extra 4k magic from that, and then you will also get extra Magicka from the Destruction Expert, which when you kill an enemy with a Destruction Staff ability, you restore 3,600 Magicka. Them two, you can get them to work in tandem. So the main spammable on our front bar is Force Pulse. The next skill on our bar is the Summon Volatile Familiar, which we are double barring on the front and back bar. The next skill on our bar is Hardened Ward. This is our main damage shield. If you want to take the other morph for extra magic recovery, it's entirely up to you. I just, on the Magicka Sorcerer, preferred the one that give more of a damage shield. The next skill on our bar is the Summon Twilight Matriarch, and if you want, instead of using the Matriarch, you can slot Bound Aegis on both bars. It's entirely up to you. I just prefer having 2 pets, because while your pets, if you heavy attack this target, while your pets are focusing on him, I can come over here and focus my damage on him, while your pets take this ad down. So that's why I preferred it that way. On the back bar, we're running Liquid Lightning and Blockade of Storms. Summon Volatile Familiar again. We're using Power Surge. This is our main source of Major Sorcerer, which increases spell damage by 20% for 33 seconds. Also, while active, dealing a critical strike heals you for 2,550 health. This effect can occur every 1 second. This can also crit, so it makes this absolutely really powerful and necessary in Maelstrom Arena. And then again, we're running the Twilight Matriarch again, and the ultimate on that bar is Thunderous Rage. So now we're going over the skills. I'm going to go over some passives. So you want to take all the Dark Magic passives, all the Daedric Summoning passives, all the Storm Calling passives, all the Destruction Staff passives, all the Light Armor passives. If you have enough skill points, take Windwalker from Medium Armor for some extra recovery. In Heavy Armor, you want to take Resolve, Constitution and Juggernaut for some extra resistances, a little bit of sustain and some extra maximum health. In the Fighters Guild, you want to take Banish the Wicked for some extra ulti gen. In the Mages Guild, because we're running Shooting Star on his front bar, you want to take Magicka Controller, which increases your max Magicka recovery by 2% for each ability slotted, so we get 2% on our front bar. Also, if you have enough skill points, take Might of the Guild, which increases your next light attack by 40%, the damage. You want to take all the Undaunted passives. You want to take all your class passives. And last but not least, the Medicinal Use passive. When using potions, resulting effects last 30% longer. So basically giving you a 100% uptime on the effects of your potion if you're using them off cooldown. Now I'm going to go over the champion points. And as I've said in previous videos, the red and green champion points are more of a preference than they are of like you have to do this. So I would suggest testing these trees for yourself. So to start off in the green tree, we have 44 points in Warlord, 19 points in Sprinter. And the reason I use 19 points in Sprinter is because I tend to sprint between platforms and stuff like that in Maelstrom Arena. So this just helps with my stam sustain, because I sometimes do it like by accident, just click the sprint button when I'm panicking and stuff like that. So it just that just helps a bit. I have 75 into Arcanist and 64 into Tenacity, 37 into Tumbling and 11 into Shadow Ward. We have 40 points into Elfborn, 56 into Elemental Expert and 30 points into Spell Erosion, 9 points into Staff Expert and 40 points into Master at Arms. We have 75 points into Thaumaturge for the Exploiter passive. Now I've tested both and I preferred the Exploiter passive in Maelstrom Arena, and I'll tell you why. Because trash mobs die really quickly, and the faster the fight, for me, from what I've tested, the faster the fight, the more the Exploiter passive is more beneficial. And because all the mobs and stuff like that in Maelstrom Arena are really low enemies, and like especially the bosses as well, it just makes the Exploiter passive a lot more beneficial in Maelstrom Arena on the Magic Sword, because you can proc off balance a lot easier with the Magic Sword than you can the rest of the classes. The next skill on our bar is, the next skill, so in the red tree we have 61 points into Ironclad, 26 points into Spell Shield, 56 points into Hard 8 and Elemental Defender, 40 points into Thick Skinned, and 11 points into Expert Defender. So in terms of rotation, in Maelstrom, you don't really have one. But like, if you wanna, I'm gonna show you some tricks that I use in Maelstrom. So say this guy here is a portal, this guy here is a portal, and then there's another portal over here. What you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to obviously keep your buffs up, make sure your fingers, make sure your potions up, and then say this portal spawning here, you're gonna want to line your dots up between the portals. So place your dots so at least your wall of elements is at least hitting him, and then force a heavy attack on your next opponent, endless fury, and then force pulse. So I'm lining my dots up, and say there's only 2 enemies, I'm just going to do it like this. And then force pulse him till he dies, finish him off with endless fury if he's not dead, and so on and so forth. Let's get rid of my pets. Now I'm going to jump in Maelstrom Arena and give you a little demonstration like to what I do in Maelstrom Arena. So I'm going to put it over there now. So now we're in Maelstrom Arena, and I'm just going to run and do the first round and show you like a little bit of how I think while I'm using this build and while I'm in Maelstrom Arena.
Do you suppose this one has what it takes?
I'm going to skip the loading screen so you don't have to wait and be bored by loading screens. So now we're in Maelstrom Arena. I'm just going to get my potion going before the round starts, so then it comes up a lot quicker. Get my buffs up, place my dots down. I know an enemy is going to spawn over here, so I'm just going to hit him with a force pulse and then finish him off. Place my dots down again, and same again. I'm going to finish this guy off. And I know a boss is going to spawn over here, so I'm just going to drop 2 dots on him. I'm going to block that so it doesn't knock me back. And then I'm going to finish these little guys off. And then I'm going to stay here for the remainder, because I know the main boss is going to spawn here. In between rounds I'm going to put my buffs back up, put my dots down, charge a heavy attack so it gets some burst damage on him. I'm going to finish this guy off, and then same again, keeping my buffs up and my potions up and stuff. I'm going to finish these guys off, and then I'm going to line my dots up. The mini boss has spawned, but he's going to be in my AoE, so he's going to take damage from that. So I'm going to put more burst damage on the other portal. So now there's going to be 3 spawns, so I'm going to try and line my dots up in between these. If it hits him, it doesn't. If it hits him, then it's good. If it doesn't hit him, then we can always finish him off from range. Just keeping my buffs up in between, line my dots up again. He's obviously not going to come into it. I'm going to break free of that. I should have been watching out for that, but it's not a big deal. We have enough stamina to deal with it. My potion's up, so I'm going to use that. Keep using my dots. Finish this guy off. I know there's a mini boss, so I'm going to finish this guy off before he comes over. I'm going to place my dots down and then finish this guy off. Now I know it's the boss round and he's going to spawn here. I'm going to wait, and I'm going to put my buffs up at the right time when he's just about to spawn. Place my dots down. Place my ultimate down as he spawns. Use my pet. So there's all sorts of dots rolling. And then halfway through I'm just going to reapply the blockade and pet. I know I haven't got enough damage for him not to port, so I'm just going to, when he ports, I'm going to reapply my blockade and then finish him off with Endless Fury. And that is it for the build, guys. And if you have any questions, please leave me a comment. If you like the content, please hit that notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a video. Also, remember to follow my Facebook, my Twitter, to also be notified when a video goes up or when I'm live streaming. Follow me on Twitch for when I eventually do start live streaming. And if you enjoyed this build, let me know what you think of it in the comments. Let me know if you do something differently, because I'm always open to different ideas, as long as they're constructive. Also, if you're using the build but you're still having trouble in Maelstrom Arena, then I would suggest looking at my Veteran Maelstrom Arena guide, which I will link in the description. And once again guys, thank you for watching, and I hope this build helps, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks guys, bye.